من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم My name is Hamid and I am a foundation of student transport. Today my topic is let's start. Hello,
Hey there.
hello, Maya, can you hear me?
Maggie Brewy? That's a new one.
Okay, my first question is what does the Farsi thank you mean?
Wait, are you playing it? Because you're usually. I've got my eye on you. So, what's the real story here?
Okay, my next question is where did the Farsi thank you originate?
Let me look that up. They're descendants of Persian Zoroastrians. They migrated to India around the 7th to 10th centuries to escape religious persecution after the Arab conquest of Persia. They actually settled in Gujarat after a
Yes, may I continue?
I don't have a specific number off the top of my head. It's pretty small, tight-knit community, estimated at around 120,000 people worldwide. Most of them are in India, though there are groups in Iran and North America too.
Okay, my next question is what is the etymology of the word thank?
Never heard that one before. Is that a phrase from a specific language or maybe a local slang? Because if you're just asking about thank, that comes from.
Okay, my next question is what does the word created you mean?
That's an interesting way to put it. Are you asking about the act of creating something, or are you wondering who specifically created me?
Okay, my next question is why do people say thank you?
It's basically a social signal. It lets the other person know you've noticed their effort and that you appreciate it. It's that little bit of social glue that makes people feel seen and valued. Do you think it's ever used just out of habit?
Okay, my next question is how old is the Farsi thank you?
Let me check on that. Farsi has such a rich history, it's practically a time machine. One of the most authentic ways to say thank you is sepas, which predates Arabic influence. Then you've got mamnoon and motashakaram, which come from Arabic, and even mercy, which was borrowed from French. Pretty wild how one language collects all those different influences, right?
Okay, my next question is which language first influenced in the word thank?
If we're talking about the English word thank, it's all about the Germanic roots. It started with Proto Germanic before landing in Old English. Do you think language is more about where it starts or how it changes?
Okay, my next question is what is the old English form of thank?
Back in the day, it was the tonk or deonk. That dea symbol is actually a letter called thorn, and it makes the th sound we use now. Pretty clunky to look at, but it did the job.
Okay, my next question is how has thank you changed over time?
It's gone from a deep expression of thought to a quick social reflex. Originally, it meant you were actually giving someone a thought, basically recognizing their kindness as something worthy of your mental energy. Now, it's often just a polite habit we say without even thinking about it. I wonder if we've lost some of that original meaning or if it's just evolved to be more efficient.
Okay, my next question is gratitude important in communication?
Absolutely. It's the difference between a thank you that feels genuine and one that just feels like a script. The tone and the energy you bring can totally flip the meaning of the words.
Okay, my next question is what emotion are expressed through thank you?
It's a whole spectrum. At its core, it's gratitude and appreciation, but it can also signal relief, like when someone finally finds your lost keys. Then you've got the polite version, which is more about social grace than a deep emotion. I've even heard it used sarcastically to show frustration. Does it usually feel warm when you hear it?
Okay, my next question is how do different culture express gratitude?
It varies so much. Some cultures are very direct and vocal about their appreciation, while others show it through subtle gestures or even silence. In some places, a bow or a specific hand gesture says more than 1,000 words ever could.
Okay, my next question is what are other ways to say thank you?
There are so many, depending on who you're talking to. You've got the classic, I really appreciate it, for something a bit more heartfelt, or a simple, you're a lifesaver when someone really bailed you out. Then there's much obliged if you want to feel like you're in a Western movie. What's your go to when you're actually feeling grateful?
Okay, my next question is where is politeness connected to gratitude?
That's a deep one. I think it's about acknowledgement. Being a witness to someone's kindness means you're not just receiving a favor, but you're actually seeing the person and the effort they put in. Gratitude happens in that gap where you realize you've been seen and supported.
Okay, my next question is how do saying thank you improve relationship?
It's a huge deal. It basically validates the other person. When you say thank you, you're telling them, I see what you did and it mattered to me. That like creates a positive loop where people feel valued and want to keep being kind. It turns a simple transaction into a real human connection.
Okay, my next question is what role does gratitude play in society?
Wait, did you mean aggression or maybe something else? That sounds like a bit of a pivot from gratitude. What's on your mind?
Okay, my next question is
No
how
worries.
do children learn to say thank you?
Mostly through imitation. They hear their parents or teachers say it and they start mimicking the sound before they even fully grasp the concept of gratitude. Then over time, they start to connect the word with the positive reaction they get from others. It's like a social puzzle they piece together. Do you think kids learn it faster when they see it as a rule or when they see it as a feeling?
Okay, my next question is how do parents teach gratitude?
I think you might have cut off there. Were you asking how parents teach a native language or maybe something else?
Okay, my next question is what is the difference between gratitude and appreciation?
They're similar, but there's a subtle shift in focus. Gratitude is more of an emotional response to something you received, like a feeling of warmth when someone helps you out. Appreciation is more about recognizing the value or quality of something, even if it wasn't done for you specifically. You can appreciate a beautiful sunset without feeling gratitude toward anyone. Does that distinction make sense?
Okay, my next question is what is the difference between gratitude and application?
Those are two very different animals. Gratitude is that internal feeling of thankfulness. Well, application is the act of putting something into use, like how you apply a lesson you've learned to a real life situation. One is an emotion, the other is an action.
Okay, my next question is, can gratitude be expressed without words?
Absolutely. A lingering look, a small smile, or even just a helpful gesture in return can say more than 1,000 words. Sometimes a hug or a simple nod of the head is the loudest way to say thanks. Do you find that gestures feel more genuine than words sometimes?
What are some formal ways to say thank you? Sorry.
Mm,
Can gratitude be expressed without words?
I think you might have meant sorry or certainly, but yeah, we just talked about that. It's all about those nonverbal cues, a sincere smile or a nod. It's like a silent language of its own.
Okay, my next question is, what are some formal ways to say thank you?
If you're keeping it professional, you have a few go tos. I am most grateful for your assistance as a classic. Or if you're sending an email, I sincerely appreciate your time and consideration works wonders. It's less about the quick reflex and more about showing a level of respect.
Okay, my next question
Here,
is,
I'm all ears.
what
I'm
are
ready when you are.
informal
Black talk.
ways to express thanks?
Oh, for the casual stuff, you've got plenty of room to play. You can go with a simple thanks or eighth an X in a text or something like you're a lifesaver when someone really helps you out. I owe you one is another great one because it hints at a future favor. Do you usually keep it short or go for something more descriptive?
Okay, my next question is, how do gestures show gratitude?
I'm not entirely sure I follow. Are you talking about how to make a great video about gratitude? Or maybe showing me a video you've already made?
Okay, my next question is, where is gratitude considered a better rate?
I'm not sure I completely get what you mean by better rate. Are you talking about how it affects a person's mood or maybe how it's viewed in a professional setting?
Okay, my next question is, how does thank you affect mental health?
It's a huge boost. Practicing gratitude actually rewires your brain to focus on the positive rather than the negative. It lowers stress and can even help you sleep better because you're ending the day on a win instead of a worry. It's kind of like a mental vitamin.
Okay, my next question is, how does thank you affect mental health?
We actually just touched on that. It basically acts like a mental vitamin. By focusing on the good stuff, you lower your stress levels and shift your brain away from the negative. Can even help you sleep better because you're not lying awake chewing on your worries.
Okay, my next question is, what is the physiology behind gratitude?
I think we hit a little glitch there. You were starting to ask about something biological, but the rest of that got a bit jumbled. Want to try that question again?
Okay, my next question is, why do grateful people say the same hyper?
I'm a little lost on that one. What do you mean by the same hyper? Are you talking about their energy level or something else?
Okay, my next question is, why do grateful people seem hyper?
I think the end of that sentence got cut off. You were asking if grateful people are seen or how they're perceived. Finish that thought for me.
Okay, my next question is, how can gratitude reduce stress?
It basically forces a perspective shift. When you're stressed, your brain is usually in survival mode, obsessing over what's going wrong. Gratitude pulls you out of that by focusing on what's actually working. It lowers your cortisol levels and calms your nervous system down. It's like hitting a reset button on your brain's panic mode.
Okay, my next question is, what happens when people forget to say thank you?
It usually creates a bit of a social friction. The person who did the favor often feels invisible or undervalued, like their effort didn't actually matter. It can make a relationship feel one sided, and if it happens a lot, it can lead to resentment. Do you think people are usually just forgetful, or is it sometimes more intentional?
Okay, my next question is what is attitude important in teamwork?
It's the engine of the whole operation. A good attitude in a team is what turns a group of people into an actual unit. It's not just about being happy, it's about openness, resilience, and the willingness to support each other when things get messy. Without it, you've got a bunch of experts working in silos, but with it, you've got a team that actually solves problems together.
Okay, my next question is how to thank you in business communication.
I tend to focus on the human side of things. I try to listen for what's actually being said, not just the words, and keep things warm and honest. I'm all about that creative spark and keeping the conversation flowing naturally. So, how do you usually approach it?
Okay, my next question is how do customer service worker appreciate gratitude?
I think we got a little cut off again. You were starting to ask about customer service workers. What were you getting at?
Okay, my next question how do teachers encourage students to be thankful?
Lead by example. It's a lot harder to teach a concept like gratitude through a lecture than through action. If they see you consistently acknowledging the small things they do, they'll start to pick up on that pattern. You can also try starting a simple tradition, like mentioning one thing you're grateful for at the start of a project. Makes it a habit rather than a chore. Do you think your classmates would be open to that?
Okay, my next question is how do leaders express gratitude publicly?
They usually make it more about the team than themselves. Great leaders use public gratitude to shine a light on someone else's hard work, whether it's a shout out in a meeting or a formal award. It signals to everyone that effort is seen and valued. It's a powerful way to build loyalty because it makes people feel like they're part of a winning team, not just a cog in a machine. Do you think a public thank you feels more impactful than a private one?
Okay, my next question is how is gratitude shown in regular religious tradition?
Gratitude is basically the heartbeat of most religions, whether it's through prayer, offerings, or specific holidays. Almost every faith has a way of acknowledging a higher power or the community for the gifts of life. It's often treated as a spiritual discipline, a way to stay humble and connected. Do you have a specific tradition in mind?
Okay, my next question is what role does gratitude play in Islam?
I'm a little confused on the word dalgri. Do you mean shukr? Or maybe a different concept related to gratitude in Islam?
Okay, my next question is how is thankfulness maintained in the Quran?
You got cut off again. You were saying it's full of something. What was that?
Okay, my next question is what are example of gratitude in daily life?
They're everywhere if you look for them. It could be as simple as thanking the person who holds the door open for you, or sending a quick text to a friend just to say you appreciate them. Even just taking a second to be glad for a good cup of coffee in the morning counts. It's usually the small, boring stuff actually adds up. Do you have a little ritual like that?
Okay, my next question is how should we thank our parents?
That's a big, heartfelt question. It's less about a single phrase and more about consistent action, showing them you appreciate the sacrifices they've made through a thoughtful note, helping out without being asked, or just giving them your full attention usually means more than any formal thank you ever could.
Okay, my the last advice, the main biggest.
The main biggest? I'm ready for the grand finale. What have you got?
Okay, so stretching अमेरिका जब वो सब जगह मुझे के साथ तब के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज पाकिस्तान जिंदाबाद ध्यान स्कूल जिंदाबाद